Hello everybody and welcome back to Visit Fylde Coast, and it's Sunday again, which means it's time for another vlog with a view. So if you're new to these videos and it's the first time you've seen one, it's just a walk on a beach with a lovely view, and it's a chat about some kind of topical or random subject, usually associated with the seaside. So I'm at Russell Beach at Cleveleys at the moment, and that big metal thing that we're looking at in the sea is Mary's Shell, if you're wondering. And on our Visit Cleveleys playlist you can find out about Mary's Shell and all of the other pieces in the mythic coast artwork trail here at Cleveleys. So today's vlog with the view is snow at the seaside. Now I've just done a bit of we do a live beach walk usually on a Friday afternoon when I come out to do this, and I've just done a live broadcast where quite a few of our regular viewers have tuned in to enjoy the sunshine and the view, and quite a few of them have been saying how they're snowed in where they live. And talking to different people in different parts of the world, it sounds like at the moment that in this week in February there's snow in quite a few places, and in fact I think there's some forecast for here. So I thought it might be interesting to just talk about snow at the seaside, because it's a bit like sort of the seventh wonder of the world here. So at the moment, I'm not quite sure what the temperature is, but it's certainly round about zero, definitely cold. In fact, I've got a pile of ice on my lawn in my back garden where I've kept emptying the water dish every day for the birds. But we very, very rarely get snow. Very rarely. In fact, I made a little video this morning which includes various different clips, and the last time that we had sort of what you might call proper snow was about 2010. So it's kind of once in a 10-year event, if that. Because a friend of mine had been on the beach one day this week, I think it was Tuesday, and sent me a video of the sea absolutely frozen. And you can see here where the edge of the tide's coming in, and there's like a white ripply line along it. Well, that white ripply line the other morning was pushing blocks of ice. I mean, we're not talking Titanic-sized icebergs, but they were big enough. You know, you could see quite clearly on a video that there were ice. Which is a very, very unusual sight. That's not something that you see very often at all. So I thought, interesting that. I'll clip them all together and I'll put some of our best snow moments together in a video. So that's what I did, and you can find that on our video diary playlist from just a couple of days ago. So what about snow at the seaside? Well, I discovered as well in my research that seawater freezes at about -2 degrees Celsius. So it freezes at a lower temperature anyway than a normal glass of tap water if you were to put it in your freezer. But saturated salt water, so that's, if you imagine taking a glass and putting salt in it until you can see salt at the bottom and you stir it up and it won't dissolve anymore. Saturated salt water freezes at -18. So you can understand why salt is used as a de-icer and a kind of an antifreeze. And it's because it suppresses the freezing point of water, and because of all the salt that's around in the air at the seaside. That's why you get less frost. And when you look at all that sea, there's a lot of salt. What a view. Beautiful. Beautiful day in February. And there's a little bit of a breeze blowing today. When you go for a walk on a beach, you'll have done this yourself. When you come back off, you can taste the salt on your lips when it's windy. You can actually lick it off and taste it. And you might have noticed that sometimes houses go white, and there's a sort of a whiteness on the walls, and that's to do with the salt as well. And there's just always this constant level of salt in the atmosphere, which is what stops the snow from settling as well. So we were talking about snow, not particularly ice. And it's really funny when it snows, because everybody gets right excited and starts saying it's snowing, and then you've got sort of Facebook inundated in pictures of snow. And a friend of mine put a picture on last week when there'd been about 4 flakes, and he'd put a picture on of a tiny, less than a fist size blob of snow on his drive in the garden, and he said, "I'm snowed in, what am I going to do?" And it's only when you've lived at the coast that you understand the sort of hilarity of that, because it just doesn't snow very often, full stop. And when it does snow, it doesn't settle. So it's like a red letter day. It's like a big event, and everybody comes out to look at it. And last week, one day at about 4 o'clock, it started snowing. And Kevin and I were working upstairs in our office, and Derek shouted from the bottom of the stairs, "It's snowing and it's settling." So I looked out of the window, and sure enough it was. And within, I bet 2 minutes it had stopped. So yeah, we don't get very much snow at the seaside at all. And when I lived inland, I'm going back a few years. I can remember going to school in snow that deep that it was coming over the top of your wellies, and being mortified that my mum had made me go to school in wellies at all. And I don't know whether it still snows like it did back then, or whether it's time and your passing memory that makes you think that it's different and it's either not as bad or worse or whatever. But it's interesting to see that your reaction to it changes over the years, because as a kid you sort of see snow and you think, "Oh, snow, wonderful, I can go and play in it, I can build snowmen, I can throw snowballs, I can slide and do this, that and the other," and we've all done it. You come back in absolutely wringing wet through and freezing, and then as an adult you think, "Oh God, it's snowing," because it controls your activities. I mean, I know at the moment our activities are controlled anyway because of coronavirus, but it keeps you in, and it makes everything mucky, and it makes it dangerous, and you're sort of thinking, shall I go and buy a loaf of bread now, or shall I wait, because if I go now I might slip and break my leg, and etc. So no, I'm not a big fan. It's lovely to look at, and when you sat inside and you can open just a minute while I jump off. When you sat inside looking at it and it looks all pretty and idyllic and like a picture postcard, it's beautiful. But not when you've got to do things and function. So I'm not a big fan. So for me, being at the coast where there is a lot less snow, a lot less ice, is a big bonus. And it's also useful in your garden as well. I mean, we've got bedding plants in our back garden that we've kept going for years. We've got geraniums that sort of flower practically through winter if it's not too cold. And it's a lot better for sort of tender plants. In fact, I think it was last year I kept some lobelia over winter, which is just not heard of. So It's all horses for courses, I suppose. That rock looks just like a seagull sat in the water, with its bum up, looking for food. How odd. What this dog's fishing for? I think it's expecting to find something. So, what do you think? What do you think to snow? Are you a big fan? Is it snowy where you are? Are you snowed in? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Do you like snow? Do you get excited when you see it? Or do you think, are you like me? Do you think, it's snowing? And would you prefer it to just get warm? Get warm and lovely and be an end to COVID, and then we can all do normal things and enjoy a normal life. Let us know in the comments. Share your views and your observations, and we'll have our usual weekly chat. So from a very, very cold but very, very beautiful Russell Beach at Cleveleys, you'll have a lovely weekend. Enjoy yourselves, whatever you're doing. Stay safe, take care, and don't forget to subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Bye for now.